Since its founding 50 years ago by the Handmaker family in the Jewish Federation of Southern Arizona, there have been two common misconceptions about Handmaker. The first is that we only serve the Jewish community. Well, to paraphrase an old ad campaign, you don't have to be Jewish to love Handmaker. In fact, 60% of our residents are not Jewish.
You know what? I think people need to know that this is not just for the Jewish community.
That's what I was just going to say to you. That's right.
Even though I think the Jewish community has been very supportive.
And built it.
Yeah. But it was built for the community.
I know that Handmaker is the last of the nonprofits that serve the community. I am proud of the Jewish community contributing Handmaker to the full community.
Well, that's been my experience, Lowell, coming here to Handmaker to see people of all faiths being cared for with great sensitivity and respect. It's a real blessing to have a place like Handmaker in our community.
In other places, they figure their children have dropped them off just to die. I don't get that sense here. I really get a sense of loving community.
As Rabbi Lockheim said, the other misconception is that Handmaker is a place for people to die. The truth is, there's a lot of life here. Unlike the stereotype, food at Handmaker is so good that we're in demand for outside catering. Something else that sets Handmaker apart is the fact we will never discharge a resident for lack of funds. It's not unusual to have lots of life left when there's no money left.
We were dirt poor when I was a kid. My father died when I was 9. I had to go to work. I had to raise my brother and sister. All of these things, and we watched every penny, and now I'm back watching every penny. You know, I taught school and I used to teach a song to the kids, the circle game, and that's exactly what I felt like. The circles come back again. And you know, it's older people, I find, are pretty much a threatened group. We feel like everything is going wrong. And when this went wrong, it was the topper, you know? And really, if I hadn't been here at Handmaker, I would be in a worse situation. I have been told that I can live here until it's my time to go through the pearly gates. So, I mean, sometimes I get frightened. It happens. But I know that my cat and I will not be out in the road, that we will live here until the end, whenever that is.
Handmaker is also unique in offering a continuum of care.
We can stay here where he's comfortable, where I'm comfortable. I have my chair in his room and we watch football together. We interact as a couple. He eats his meals in the room in the evening. That's just part of our routine. I know that when it's time to make a change, I probably won't have to go outside these walls. I don't want to have to do that.
It's an all-in-one place. I have a sense of security here.
From independent and assisted living to acute care and dementia units for those who need 24-hour skilled nursing care, and the city's only comprehensive day program for all adults, Handmaker lends a hand to all.
If there were no Handmaker, there would be limited access for people such as David to attend, to have access to stimulation, to outside activities, to field trips, and to a safe environment, and to promote independence in his life.
It seems that the needs of our community keep expanding, but to be frank, it will take the collective vision of many to help solve future problems. I'm proud to say that Tucson Medical Center and Handmaker have joined together to help lead the way.
There is a terrific opportunity to integrate what Handmaker is currently doing with adult daycare and longer-term skilled care, and the acute care focus that we have at the hospital. Elderly patients create a very special problem and a special opportunity. So this is a perfect extension of our current work.
As Judy Rich said, elderly patients create a special problem and a special opportunity. But all this good care costs a great deal of money. Last year alone, the gap between what we received in payments and what we delivered in care was $750,000. As our population continues to age, that gap may also continue to grow. Yet Handmaker will remain committed to serving Tucson's aging population and never discharge a resident for lack of funds.
Something brought me to Handmaker so that I could live out my life not in a bus bench or in the street like some people do.
We will never forget the fifth commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. And we also ask you to remember these words from Tucson's bishop.
Loving and gracious God, we thank you for those who care for us and support us and strengthen us here at Handmaker.
Speaking of support, in closing, I'd like to personally thank the two co-chairs of our 50th anniversary gala, Jody Bain and Jane Kivel. Tonight would not have been possible without them.
Jody and I agreed to share this big event for Handmaker, their 50th anniversary gala, because we haven't learned two letters of the alphabet, N-O, and that's why we're here today. But seriously, I agreed to be co-chair of the gala because of all the work that Handmaker has done for us in the community. My husband had taken ill, and he was here, and they opened their arms to him. And for 3.5 months, he was back and forth to the hospital and back and forth to Golding South. And I felt like there was always a family here waiting to help during my time of sadness.
My grandmother was here 20 years ago. She started at Besserman Independent Living. She came from Detroit area, and they took very good care of her. It was people first, which is very important to folks when they leave what they've known for so many years. And it went through the continuum until she eventually passed years later here.
I think it's very important to get people to come into Handmaker and to see what we have here. And I tell people, come on over, as they say, and take a tour of Handmaker. You'll see all the staff smiling. You'll see the patients are walking around saying good morning, good afternoon. Everybody's so happy to see you. And it's a place that I think once you've been here, you realize what we're doing. That's when you'll know this is a great place and there's a family here for you.
Handmaker is very special to the community in that when you're at your most vulnerable and you may or may not have family, you have somewhere to go and people care and they watch over you.